it's not a tarot reading video without a candle. I would throw in my crystals, but they're upstairs on the windowsill, bathing in the moonlight. So that's where they belong. I don't know what we're gonna do when we run out. I guess I'll just have to get a regular candle, but it won't sound as good. Okay, let's do this. Yeah. Oh, sparks were flying. Here, I'm just gonna cleanse your energy a bit, okay? It's coconut lime, so just... Okay. I'm gonna put it down right here. And hopefully it just crinkle crackles in the background as it always does. So I've got my tarot deck. It's the Rider-Waite tarot deck. Classic design tarot. T-A-R-O-T. Tarot. So this is going to be just like a collective reading. Just kind of the general energy. The general energy for the month, so let's knock out the bad juju. Okay, the Two of Swords. We've got the Seven of Cups. Okay, I'm gonna take all four of these. Okay, so then we've got the Magician. The Magician. The Five of Pentacles. The Sun. And the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so before I even individually go into the cards, I'm definitely getting kind of like a little bit of a piggyback off of last month. So the collective, or most people, I guess, were still trying to make that choice and figure life out. But I think by the end of the month, there's gonna be a decision, a movement towards what you've been struggling with so much. So let's go into the cards individually. So you've got the Two of Swords. This person's holding two swords, a sword and a sword, and they're blindfolded, and there's this whole oceanic scene behind them. And this card is really about decisions, potentially hidden information because of the blindfold. not seeing the whole picture, but you are the one that kind of needs to decide, and there can be a lot of confusion amongst that. I'm personally not the best at making decisions, especially really big decisions. I contemplate them for way too long, and I often end up with this card when I'm thinking about this kind of thing. Yeah, so it's mostly about some sort of choice or a difficult decision you're trying to make, that kind of thing. So up next we pulled out the Seven of Cups. For some reason this card reminds me of mushrooms, and I definitely think it has to do with this middle cup here. It just makes me think of mushrooms, and I hate mushrooms. I also hate choices, and this still has to do with choices, but there's a man, and he's definitely daydreaming because it's got like this cloudy deal on it. It's kind of like thinking about all the different ways you can go in life, so the different cups have different things. There's a snake in this cup. I think this is like a holy person or a ghost, I'm not really sure. There's a woman, there's a castle in this one. This one has riches, this is a reef, and this is like a dragon. So it's like all the different cups have different ways you could go, so this just furthers the theme of like choices, right? There's clearly a really big choice that a lot of people need to be making, and it's kind of like you're kind of daydreaming potentially about all the different choices and like what your life could be, depending which cup you want to choose, right? Which one you want to go with. Yeah, so there's obviously, everyone's kind of at a crossroads, but it could be like a really insignificant choice that's not going to overly affect your life, but it's hard, or it could be a huge choice. It's kind of up to you, you know, which cup you're going to pick. I'm not saying that like this is going to be like the biggest decision of your life or anything. It could be significant or insignificant, but it's still something that's clearly at the forefront of your brain, and it's something that's bothering you, or you kind of need to figure it out this month. But it could just be like nothing huge or really big. It's kind of up in the air. So then we have the Magician. And this card is very interesting. Clearly a very noble man. There's a pentacle and a cup. Is there a sword? No. There's a sword and a wand. They have all the things on the table. I was like, why would they only have two? But no, they have all of them. A cute little infinity halo thing going on, and a lot of floral patterns going on. Obviously a magician, so like clearly a person with power or importance. But thankfully this card is actually a good one. It has to do with willpower and desire and manifestation mostly. It's a really good thing. So you're manifesting those dreams or those choices that you are kind of making. There's a lot of symbolism in this card, so it's kind of like you get to decide. Like you were like faced with the choices, and now we're gonna decide. We're gonna like manifest what we wanted, and it kind of goes hand in hand with that like daydreaming part. I want to believe that we all get to have some skillful manifestation, and it kind of gets better from there. That's basically all I have to say about this card. Sometimes it scares me. It's like, oh no. So unfortunately we had the Magician, and then we're gonna hit the Five of Pentacles. This could be seen as like a negative card. It obviously is portrayed as negative. There's this beautiful stained glass window with the Five Pentacles, and then there's like this scene at the bottom that definitely is portrayed, in my opinion. It reminds me of like The Last Christmas Carol, like the poor people in the streets of London in the snowstorm. Like clearly this person's got grudges, and like they're wearing raggedy clothes. It looks cold and snowy. Like it's about a lot of hardship and loss. It could be disgrace, you know, that kind of thing. Isolation, adversity. It's like a lot of that kind of thing. It doesn't look like a very pleasant card, but I'm going to spin it in a positive way because I feel like it is a good thing. This card can yourself and figure this out and decide what you want to do. And like, maybe you're changing directions, maybe you're gonna quit your job and it's gonna not 100% work out the very next day, that kind of thing. So this looks like a sad, scary card, and it could be very intimidating, but I don't think it has to be. I think that there is growth in adversity, and there's power in adversity, and there's sometimes when you're at your lowest point is when you're going to rise up and be the strongest version of yourself. And that's what I hope that we all do in this upcoming month, is that it's filled with good things, even if those good things don't come brightly colored. Maybe they're disguised, you know what I mean? So moving on, we have the sun. And this is so cute to come after. Like, I love this reading. It's cute. Like, it's like a coming of age kind of reading. So the sun is obviously a very good card. We have a cute little picture of a sun with their little sunbeams, some sunflowers. I think this is like a mountain or something. And then a little child or a cherub, I'm not really sure, on a white horse. So all really good symbolism. I really just associate this card with happiness and joy and success. The sun shines, so that's, I just really hope that after this month, I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be the energy towards the end of the month, or even into November. I don't think that this is going to be like next week, you know what I mean? I think this is going to be a card couple weeks for you, but you're going to kind of get to the end of where you are going, that kind of thing. So I just love the sun. It should be like very optimistic. So maybe by the end of the month, you're not going to necessarily have everything figured out, but you're going to be feeling a lot more optimistic about your choices. Maybe you're going to be like pretty confident about where you're headed, and like you're gonna be in a way better headspace. I think I'm not saying that by the end of the month everything is just gonna have worked out and everything's gonna be fine. That's a little unrealistic, but I think you're just definitely gonna be in a better headspace, and you're gonna be a little bit more optimistic, and like you're ready for this, you know what I mean? And the last card we pulled out was the Knight of Pentacles. So obviously a knight on a black horse. Dare I say he's like dark and handsome, because he's like brown and everyone else is like yellow, so I think he's supposed to be like dark and handsome. And he's holding a pentacle. So I think that this energy is kind of just like a further extension of the sun. So we're gonna be like a little bit more confident at the end of the month, more practical, because he's a knight, it's gonna be more planned and like slow and steady, like hard working, but we're not gonna just like rush into everything. We're gonna kind of like strategically go about things. So that's kind of the energy I get from a knight. Like, I think more about, if you're in the army, you're not just gonna like willy-nilly do things, and that's definitely the energy I get from the Knight of Pentacles. Eye on the prize. You're gonna carefully be considering your next moves. It's just gonna all in all be a better mindset by the end of the month, and I think that that's hopefully really good. I'm kind of like hoping to, like, the way that I kind of want to interpret this is that hopefully by the end of the month things have just kind of settled down a little bit with the pandemic, with everyone's life. Sometimes I feel like summer can be so chaotic, and then the transition into fall, and fall itself, you kind of have to calm yourself back down and get back into like that nomadic, stoic lifestyle of like the colder months. So that's the vibe I'm getting, and I really enjoyed this. This was like a cute little story. I just want you to know though, if you are suffering and things aren't feeling well, you're not feeling, your mental health is very low, feel free to talk in the comments. I struggle with my mental health every single day. It's amazing that I wake up every day, not gonna lie. So if you're feeling kind of down, feel free to reach out in the comments, and is this a safe place to talk? And hopefully that by the end of the month you work hard and you keep up with those silly menial things, and you get to where you're going and you make the choice that you need to make. So it's cold out, so